paintober, the end of it, with an alchemical Halloween live today. We are going to. I'm just gonna wait until to see if some people are gonna show up. Yeah, I washed my hair. I put on my bra, and look, I actually made it. Well, I had the little crystal ball, so I guess I'm gonna do some predictions here. But I did do so. Only cool people in my live in my replay. Everybody, keep your negative vibes to yourself, and we all know what that is. So I'm gonna be doing some predictions. So I was called to do this, and look, I put on my earrings that I showed you on. Hi, Marlene. Look, girl, I put on a bra and I wash my hair, girl. I feel good. I feel ready, and thank you. The other day I asked for prayers, and they surely helped a lot. I follow this. I'm Catholic, and I follow this father who has a YouTube channel, and I did a number of things, and he has really short clips, videos, and he gets to the point. Yeah, so they really work. I woke up today. I actually had a really good night's sleep after like a really rough night. You didn't see that because by the time I came live on Saturday, I mean on Thursday, I was actually well, and yeah. So today I was just like all in. I was like, this is the shirt. Remember that I showed you? I finally wore it. And I'm like, I gotta show up, and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing my witchy witch of the West. No, I'm not the witchy witch of the West. I'm the little tiny witchy hat. So I'm gonna be doing some predictions. And look, Marlene, I was showing. I already had this little crystal thing, and it is rainbow. It's a rainbow something, but it's angelic. So I put on my little vibes, and I did another one. I had bought one, and I had another one of opal, and I did the same. That's just like a crystal, but yeah, crystal ball. So I just feel guided. I clear like my energy, clear, and I'm drinking something also very medicinal. It has cinnamon, it has root, and a, yeah, and I even have garlic for the witch of the West, the real one. I'm just acting witchy today, extra witchy to finish this. I've been there, even though Paintober's over for you guys. Marlene, you did such an amazing job. I was looking at the last thing. I was like, oh my God, why is she coming to my channel? She said she's very artistic. I could see that. And I see you're very good with still lifes. Hi, Teddy. Welcome. Happy Halloween. Yay. You come. I am going to do some art, but not until probably like an hour in. So be aware of that, or maybe like 45 minutes in. I I decided I washed my hair and I put on a bra. And I'm drinking some tea. Like it's a very medicinal tea, but yeah, it's from a plant that we have here. It's for the witches. I did have an intention. Oh, there's 11 people watching. Yeah, you go, girl. I guess people do like me on camera. Oh, now it's 7. Okay. I guess they so anyway, what I was gonna say, something about the witches. I did put the intention only good people coming to the live, watching this live, even a replay, only good intentional people. And I did this like since the beginning of the week because I already had known that I was gonna come on and approximate the time. So um, I am, believe it or not, I'm Catholic, but I am very spiritual and I'm very like that. And that's why I don't know, this month has been like up, and I'm very healthy person. I rarely get sick, but I do feel like I was coughing and off, and like the chest was congested, but it was really bizarre. I felt like I was coughing the like stuff that I don't need in my body, like the like very old toxins. It was really bizarre. And because I was fine most of the time, most of the day, like it was, it was really crazy. um, so I think it was like bad juju from, the Witch of the West when I was doing those stories. But today I'm gonna give some predictions. So I did intend it for only really nice, intentional people that are, you could be religious or spiritual, just don't send like no real witches, none of that stuff. Like not the lower vibrations. even on the people in the replay, because I'm like, this is a high vibe. This is an alchemical space. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing in the alchemy inside of me, and you see that play around my See that? You see what I mean? Ooh, somebody, and that the drop to number two. Somebody who was watching was that's not hold on a second. Let me put you guys back on. That's not ooh, let me see if I could do it like this. I think so. Sorry I'm moving you guys so much, but um I was holding partially, so this is better. So yeah, that's probably, you see, as soon as I said that, um yeah, I people, I'm telling you, have really bad intentions, and I think I still, that was like a really how do I say it, it was like eye opening and stuff, because you don't know this, and the veil is open for people take this to do really good things, but they also take this day to do really bad things. And I saw that play, like um play out throughout. So you have incense in your house, do that tonight. Clear your space, you're everywhere in your house, the corners and stuff like that. I had to, and stuff like that, because yeah, like I said, I've been going, and I don't get sick, but I do feel like I didn't exactly get sick. It was like moments. It was really bizarre. That's why I said, I was like, I know it's like bad intentional, the witch of the West, if you know what I'm saying. I did feel like when I started doing those stories, because that was something I just did it in the moment. It wasn't something that I had planned, but I started to feel like better, and it was very therapeutic. So I felt like I had to get that out of my system, and yeah, and I've been clearing since then. I may sound like mousy, but I'm really okay. And I think our weather here is like chilly late in the AM and in the morning, and then it gets warm for like 6 7 hours, and even sometimes in the evening and then back. So I think it's like I have allergies actually. Oops. And let me just put you here first, and then I don't need to put you up there. Oops, right there. Sorry, I'm moving you guys so much, but like I said, I should have checked this. So, now it's better, right? So yeah, and so I put you on my on top of my cup, because this is my cell phone. But and then when I do the art, you're gonna look at it sideways, not the other way, because I don't think if I move the orientation while I'm already live, I won't be able to see your comments, so I don't want to do that. But yeah, so that's kind of like the background story. And I was like, today they need to see this face. The Witchy Witch of the West will not stop by today. And because this is my alchemical day, she will be burned in the ashes of her own web she caught herself in. I don't know, today, like poetry is like I was reciting stuff like before I came on, like in my head. Yeah. So like I said, this is a really nice high vibe and all that. I do tend to do prices and stuff, but not no. After this one, I don't think I'm gonna do one at Christmas. I'm because of the Oh, side note, I sent Marlene something that she bought for me, and Marlene, I found stuff. I'm gonna check, but the old ones, and some reason once like another thing. It was like I had them all over the place, but I did find them in my drawer, so I was like, oh. But I did the right thing. The ones that I send you is because I do have doubles in bigger size in bigger tubes, because they're old. So I was like, oh, okay. So I did kind of do the right thing. I saw that your opera pink, which I didn't know. It's actually better than the whole bind. It's really high because it's luminous, so but still, it's that one and another brand which I can't remember. I think it's Schminka. They have the best, but I do know that Senelier does really well too. But anyway, so because of I sent Marlene something that she bought for me, and the post office told me that they're gonna charge you more because they are on a holiday, like they're on a holiday thing. So I was like, what in the world? And I was like, oh my god, I want to show my little crystal ball. So like I worked on it and bad vibes and for all of you. So we're gonna do a little thing first before I start telling you my which of the stories. And so uh, just say that everybody that comes that are live in this live in the replay and from here on forward, only people with good intentions come to my channel, and nothing out of the lower vibrations. And that if they people of the lower vibrations are do want to want to enter, that they may be redirected elsewhere. And from here on forward, everything should be in the light of the angels, archangels, God, and nothing below that surface. Native American, the elders are also welcome. I am very spiritual in that regard, ancestry and things like that. But that is it. Nothing out of the graveyard, none of that stuff. In the name of the Jesus Christ, amen. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. And thank you guys. And may the magic of the alchemy sprinkle all upon you from here on forward, day in and day out. May you see, may you see, feel, and portray your light upon everyone else, but never let anything or anyone lower your vibration. Okay, so that's something. May the poison of the good poison you in the higher realms. Nothing can ever lower that vibe. So yeah, and that's a my stories were actually my set of stories were actually real. It was one story, but I split them up and I started adding stuff. But yeah, so today, right now, I'm gonna start the alchemy predictions of me by Maria. Okay, so I suspect that the witch of the West will witch upon this way and never look back the same way. I suspect they are. She already might have felt an inner change because I must have struck some chords inside of her witchy ways. Uh, she doesn't know what may come her way, but she's going to feel the karma she brought in May. Uh, things might not look so great, but I know her studio by the numbers, the address. It's going to be locked away. Oh, the witch of the West will not know what came upon her way, but she will soon know in her new say, how did I get here? Well, someone else found that way. She will not come she will not enter or cross the paths of people of light, because she's gonna know the darkness that lies inside of her. And I suspect this inner darkness is gonna take a toll on her life, because she will not change her ways. Um yeah, thank you, Marlene. And what else do I want to say? The witch of the West got caught, and now she knows she cannot mess with this alchemical light. All right. Now that was for the witchy witch, and I even see got poetic with her. Um, I don't think she'll appreciate it, but it is what it is. You came to my channel. I did not. Because she was so curious of what I was doing. And be cautious. The last thing, because the witchy witch of the west would have to take 5 steps back and just use her creative endeavors in a hobby like way. That's my predictions. There is one more because she's very promiscuous, if you will. So I suspect that when she is in her new way, she's gonna be she's going to be she will have to make a choice of keeping or not keeping her blessed her new blessing. Anyway, so that's the last prediction for the Witchy Witch of the West. And the other, and I do think he saw a lot of my lives. Um, might or not agree with what I said all the way because when you get caught or you feel like I didn't say anything. How does she know? Well, I have my ways, which is the connection that I have with the angels. Which, by the way, when I last weekend, after Sunday, after I came live, the song from Sarah McLachlan, the the angel song, remember the one that made her famous? In the light of the angels, far away. That one. In this life. Oh, I don't know why that day after that it kept coming like in my head. Like I kept reciting it and I was like, there must be a reason why. But so I was like, okay, maybe what I said resonated with the people involved and the people that saw it. I'm not sure, but it was like in the eyes of the angel. It was really nice. So, Mr. Nano Man, I suspect he's already, if not already, has come back to his senses. He's going to continue um, making new strides in ways. I think he's going to also reflect back. Actually, today is his birthday inverted. So he may be looking so why guys look good on camera. Make me look good on camera. Not just kidding. There's no hard feelings or nothing. And I think we are okay to move forward um, with our friendship and everything else, um, and things like that. So I think what it brought him a really learning life lesson, even at this age, because he is older than me, and the Witchy Witch of the West looks older than us, but she's younger. um, yeah, thank you, Marley. You're so cute. And then, so yeah, I think he's gonna be looking into making new leads. I think because he's very smart, and I think he's very intuitive as well. That's why we have that strong connection. So, yeah, I think we are probably going to reconnect again. Um, and then certainly I'm good with that. And I think we're very much opposites, so maybe probably help each other the way we see art and things in general and stuff like that. So yeah, so I also think he is going. Not only did he learn a lesson, a really hard lesson, because this be the Witch of the West is very obsessive, and I know by my guides that by the angels that she was very insistent because she wanted an affair that's where she was getting at, but the way she approached things, approached it totally different. And to get her kind of out of her reality, I guess that's what people do. I'm not sure. Add Q&A sticker, unexpected adult problems. Oh, I don't know. Somebody put something. It says something about a sticker. Oops. And I'm sorry. She wanted to play around. And yeah, and I think she got caught on in her own game. And I think the other two, yeah, I think so, Marlene. A lot. Yeah, I think so. She's the one that did everything. Like, and like how far people go, I think is for Mr. No No Man and me. It's the lesson that we take away. And but it's like, you know, um I think she just doesn't think. Like I said, she's very intelligent, but she just doesn't think that there will be repercussions and stuff like that. But um because she's still around, I don't see her. Thank you, Jesus Christ. And that's how I found out she was coming to my life, because she has very icky energy. And so I was like, oh, I must have struck a chord. And and she's very gossipy too. Well, the lie she told, right? You could go back and watch that. But back to Mr. Nonoman. So yeah, I think he's also thinking about his own career and so far, like where had the stuff that he has, like what impact in general and stuff like that. So I think he's putting stuff together, and he will continue to do that. And I think it brought him to also be a bit more selective. Um, and that's not a bad thing. That's actually a very good thing. Um, so I think, you know, and hopefully his the best thing for him, and I think he's now in like, because he's a real thinker, like um, just being brought back to his own self and not be so naive, because somebody might look like dumb and crazy, but they behind that, even I got surprised, and I just knew there was something about her that I didn't like, and I didn't know what it was, but I am clear. My guides, my angels did tell me this. If I would see anything else, no, B, I did not. The story ended. That she could have her predictions. um, yeah, I think she's about to experience a really life change. And now, well, anyway, back to now me. Predictions for me. I suspect this channel is gonna grow more. I'm gonna create a very small, close knit Patreon. I should hit 500 right around the end of the year, if not by January, like early January. So please like, share, and subscribe. Um, what else? Oh, you don't know, you might not know this, but I did lose the UR context. However, hold on to that, because I've been feeling there was a third person, like a third place, and she's been announced. I don't know, like I kept feeling something about they're going to like somebody made a mistake or something. I don't know if that's possible, but I don't know. I'll let you know, like, it's something they change, because I was like, I usually when they announce, that's fine, but I keep getting the same message, like they're gonna and it's this month coming up that something might happen. So I'm like, okay, and I'm gonna those pastels, no, they're expensive, but the contest, it's a lot of money. So I didn't know that, and I was like, wow. And I so far I've lost two contests and I've won two. Um, and so yeah, I'm not doing so bad, except the art ones you have to pay, which I'm okay. But you everybody gets, so that's what I'm gonna enter, the Dakota one, and I might enter another one, which is not a contest. I did get selected holiday, and they did open. They just notified me this week, but I decided I'm not gonna do it. I'd rather just be here on my channel and stuff like that. Maybe I'll do it another year. I'm not sure. So I felt like I have to get crafts and stuff together fast for that. And then I didn't like the fact that you have to pay for that day like $100. And I was just like, I don't know how to feel about that. So I'm like, eh. So yeah, I've been entering in art contests. As a matter of fact, I entered one today for meeting for the monster ones. That was actually kind of fun. And I want the mystery bag. So hold on to that for the mystery bag. There's probably gonna be a lot of people that enter this holiday. This yeah, well, it's not a holiday, but it is for us. And I'm actually like this whole weekend is cool because on the Mexican side, tomorrow is the Day of the Angels. Like all the, if you lost a baby or a little brother, sister, like everybody young that actually passed away. So we called it the Day of the Angels. They go to the wherever they're. Basically, they put a picture like I have from my mom here that now I show you guys, and they put candles and they go, they put stuff that they might have liked or remember them. And then on Sunday is actually the Day of the Dead, so of older people, and we light a candle and things like that. I am gonna light my candle tonight, and stuff like that, because today is like a, be careful, the bell's very thin and things like that. Like I said, people do bad things and people do good things, and here in our channel we do alchemical things, which is like we just look in within yourself and we, convert things. Things happen, magic things happen, magical. This is a magical day for me in this channel. Um, what you're looking in the back is something that I actually painted in acrylics a long time ago, about 3.5 years ago. It is on panel. So it's like it, I, it started like, I started with the theme that I was going to do something in the garden and I put flowers around, but that jar, and to me, it looked like a honey jar. So I just put like honey jar in the forest or something like that. Mm. But back to me. Okay. And I suspect that I will enter more commission light. I'm actually waiting. You don't know this, but I'm actually waiting on a commission, on a really big commission that I enter back in September in the LA area. Psst, everybody put good vibes on it. I haven't heard anything, so from what I know, if you don't hear anything, and that's in rounds. So I'll let you know if I got selected to go to the next round. Um, yeah, and I was very strongly guided to. I wasn't gonna enter, but I was like super strongly guided. Arlene, did you just say hi to? Oh, there's 4 people watching, but they don't type. It's okay if you don't wanna, um if they don't wanna say, um they are actually what I was saying. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna enter, and I actually wanna. I love substituting. I'm gonna do it as long as I can, but I want to merge more into a like a. Oh, okay. Sorry, Marlene. Okay, I was like, what? Who is she saying hi to? Mm, but and I have a garlic in here, you guys. Did I put? Yep, it's right there. See, or the witch, the vampires. You come home and you're like, oh my god, I feel tired. That's called being drained. Take a shower, do something. Like usually, I take a shower. I shower every day because I can, because of the people's energy and stuff. I'm always, when I go out of my house, it's like, and every time you go out and come back, it's like energy. But yeah, and so I also to expect that when the time is right, um, I am going to move into art related, and I actually am happy about the art therapy certificate. I don't want to do an MA. I already have an MA, so I don't want to do another one. Years ago, I was going to try for that, but then everything just convoluted, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm glad I came across this. It's a use from time to time. I'll let you know, but it's like, and that's in the immediate future, like very soon, actually. Um, personal life, I suppose. I was trying to zoom into the art on your wall. Oh, okay. I must have touched something and kicked. And also, you're wanting to get a job. Yes, Marty. I'm gonna apply to one. It's not as close to my house, but I can commute, and it's yeah. And I'm also waiting on another one that it was like perfect. It is not. It's in a library, but yeah, in a college. But yeah, pretty soon I'm gonna do that. I don't want to teach. Another opportunity came to do the K to 12, like to get the thing. But I don't want to do younger kids. I love Spanish, but it's like it's not art, and I just feel like I just need to be in an art related theme job, like or if I have enough commissions, let's just I suspect I will get very big commissions that I will live off of that. And then it's more independent. I actually do want to be more independent. That's why I'm getting the certificate in art therapy because I do plan in the near future, not that far from now, to open a studio for veterans, or anybody can come, but it's like, you know, my veterans will have priority to do art, and like it's like a studio for them, but they could come do art or whatever, and we could just, you know, do healing as well. And like, you know, because that's how I started in art. I healed myself through art, and that like colors and stuff, and I didn't know that that was happening. But so that's why this certificate was very personal, and yeah, and very deep. um I'm glad that at least from this certificate, because some people like some of my classmates have like deep rooted issues still, and it's like whoa. But yeah, that's probably why art is very why people are young people, and I came as an older person, but why people they're young people, they're super empathetic and super sensitive, so they're drawn to art. But they yeah, art therapy does exist, so it's a realm, and it's not like, oh, I need to talk or whatever. It's just like you do stuff, and that's what I'm gonna. Hopefully, I can do a couple workshops and stuff like that and see like what people say, and I want to. So in a museum would be like art educator, stuff like that, with public. I want to do more public work, public programs, since I'm a substitute and I do work for the city anyway. I do have trick or treat. And what else? I think that's the last thing I want to say. Oh, that some of my art is gonna start selling, my current art. That I'm actually gonna start framing and stuff like that. Because before I just would leave it, what you saw, and stuff like that. And now I'm gonna be like, okay, I need to take it a step, so that way, if it goes, it goes. And I think I'm just gonna market myself a little bit more and stuff like that. And yeah, and like usually what I want to sell are my oil paints, but like watercolor. And I think I'm just gonna do new sketch ideas, so in case somebody can. And I mine my art is not gonna be expensive unless it's big and I'm taking like loads of time um getting it done in sketches and oil paint, because oil paint is expensive. And then you add the, you know, and I've been lucky that I got most of my oil, I think all of it except for one, in no, I think all of it on sale. I've never paid for, no, I did pay last year for like 3 tubes regular price, but that's about it. And I limit myself like to that. But yeah, oil paint can be expensive. And then because and then you have to the time, because you know it, once you mix, a lot of people don't buy a lot of, like I have a lot of tubes. A lot of people don't, because they can't afford it, so they have to mix. Yes, Marlene, thank you. And I'm glad, Marlene, you girl, you always hit it out right on the nail. So it's like you're helping me too and keep me on my toes. It's so cool, and I really like it. When my channel becomes more popular, um, the you're gonna be my, what do you call it? The person that and not an administrator. What is it called? The person that's the little chat and all that stuff. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's like pretty cool. So I think that's what I foresee. Well, I foresee that this month I'm gonna go out, go out, and yeah, this month, and I foresee that today I shall get the first invitation. That yeah, moderator. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and let's do a fortune cookie for my brother actually brought this chocolates. He must have heard me a couple of days ago, and I was like, oh cool. And I'm like, trick or treat. But let's see this fortune cookie because there's three of them, and I was drawn to this one. He had gone to the Chinese. We always go. We love Chinese food in my house. So my brother, one of my brothers, went and he brought a bunch of them last week. And today I was like, let me see. And I was like, when I was making my tea, I was like, oh okay. And after this, I will announce the winners. Okay. Let's see. I'm so excited. See, I can feel you guys' vibe. Your good juju. Ooh, that energy is nice around here. You guys like my? Oh, and after this, I'm gonna announce the winners, and I'm gonna tell you what up and up, and then we're gonna do more talking. Oh, I'm gonna do more talking. I I'm gonna do the spooky stories, and then on camera, you're gonna see me on camera, and then we're gonna merge into Daniel Smith, watching Daniel Smith Gouache. I finally have all of the gouache, and me and Marlene and I were bad. We already did a color story because we couldn't help it. And oh, it was a feather, and it's so pretty, it's so amazing. So um, yeah, okay. Let's see what it says. Dun, 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 dun. The future comes one day at a time. Ooh, perfect for today. I knew it. I knew it that this, see, that this, that's why I was drawn to this one. And the future is not written, you guys. You make the future with your decisions. Destiny and the future are two different things. What is destined for you will be what the what is what do you say so the immediate future and the future we make that. Ooh, ooh, and this my crystal. It's so nice. I feel like it's so vibrating. The angels is radiate my little thing. Bad vibes away. Oh, see, I keep running into it. Sorry, Cristobal. What do you want to say? Show me yes. Show me no. Show me maybe. It's moving. It's so high vibrating. I left it like in all these verbs and water for natural stuff for days, and I could feel yesterday when I took it out. It was like to prepare it to put it on this wire, and yeah. So there is no third place winners. There are no second place winners because only Marlene and Sonia were the only ones that actually Marlene did it from start to finish and above and beyond. And Sonia also did a really cool video and stuff like that and invited other people. And I haven't heard from Sonia, but the video alone just did it. I'm hoping that she followed through. You didn't have to follow my prompt, Marlene. You did to the T, but you could have just painted anything. That's what I did. I did some prompts and some I did, other things and stuff like that. And like I said, I will continue painting tonight and tomorrow, well, this whole weekend, to show off and stuff like that. But and I hate to say it, but maybe on Sunday, yeah, Sunday because it's the Day of the Dead. I am gonna take out because I meant to do the um the brushes from at our Sherpa. Remember the ones that I got like in September, and I didn't. So yeah, that's gonna be the live for Sunday, probably early morning, because that's the Day of the Dead, so we gotta remember her. She was such a good YouTuber and like great, amazing artist. It's unfortunate that she left this earth so early, but yeah. So Sonia and Merlene are my winners, and it will come. Marlene, I have your address, and so I would get schedule your stuff, whatever's on sale on Amazon. not whatever, but something good. I don't know what it is because I was just peeking. So there are some things. I know Marlene, you like art is great. Sonia, I think she's like studying. Um, I think she had like a student grade thing. I think she's more of a crafter. So I'm gonna see if there's like a kid or something, things like that. So congratulations to both of you. Like I said, there is no third place, no second place, and thank God because I didn't know about the mail. Imagine that the student grade paint that I offered for second place, like that would have cost me more than the whole thing that I bought from Amazon for $25. So I was just like, um, so yeah, I decided I'm like no, I'm like let me just I would have left Sonia as a second place, but then I didn't want her to choose, and I was and then I would have been stuck sending her like it probably would have cost me $30 the thing because it's a 48 set. So that way I could just keep it and I could just watch it in this channel. And when it comes back again on sale, which they Paul Rubin always does around, yeah, I think no, you're welcome, Martin. You've been nothing short of amazing. I was just like, man, everybody must think Marlene is his the thing, but yeah, but I did invite a lot of people. So I think a lot of people did do it, but they didn't share. And I didn't care that you should have shared before the 15th. And I think even I talked to one time to what's her name, Fam from Lively's Lovelies, and she said she was gonna do it, but she hadn't started, and we were already at the halfway mark. So I don't know. And I said just tag me on whatever social media, but she never did. I didn't check Facebook on her channel, but I don't think she did. So she might have not had time because I was like, you there's prompts, but you can't do. And she was like, I don't like to follow prompts. And I'm like, okay, well then do whatever, then tag me. But I don't think she did, and she was the one that told me to do prices in the first place. So I don't know. But it was fun. I had a lot of projects, and then all these. So on Wednesday you're gonna see an art hall, and that's I got today. I got it. That's why we're doing Daniel Smith because I got the. Oh, by the way, guys, go to Blick. You have until, and it's in one of my other lives in the last video, that video tomorrow, it has it on there. There's a coupon code, and they Blake gives you um e gifts, like I got a $15, $10, $5, and I did a survey for them, and they're giving me 15% off out of regular price item, which I already picked it up what's it gonna be. So that's gonna be coming up, and that's probably gonna be it for me because I have other old stuff that I need to go through. So probably this I don't think I'm gonna do, like I'm not gonna buy myself Christmas stuff this year because I already have them because of Blake. They did it so early. So we would have to be paying. Yeah, exactly, Marlene. That's crazy. That's funny when people do that and they're like, "Oh, see, people were here in my life because I was announcing the winners. Now they're gone because I'm not. I didn't win. And well, you didn't enter. You gotta enter you gotta meeting tells you really specific. Tag us or whatever. So in your entrance, or you could also email it to here or whatever. But that's the thing. I used to do this in the beginning of my channel. Like you didn't have to be so active, but now my channel it's a pretty good amount of people. So I was like, if you haven't even left me a comment or anything saying, look, I'm doing it in my house, but I have no social media, whatever, I would have been good with that. And before I used to like give like if they left me a really nice comment, like a really like last year I picked somebody and she was from Canada and I didn't know, and I did get charged $10. So what I did is I gave her a good quality paint. I think she said it was core, and they were on sale. Thank goodness, because I was gonna send her Daniel Smith, but they were gonna charge me more shipping. But they did charge me $10 through Amazon. But she got it in 3 days in Canada. So yeah, exactly. So and Marlene, you were telling people all the time, like even Val, right, when he came through and he didn't, and I never saw him again. So I hope he's okay and stuff, and his mom. They probably were doing it in the house. They just, I feel like people self, and I was like that too, feeling self conscious, like self conscious, like, oh, like my art's not good enough and this and that. But then this is where, Marlene, you might not know this, but I always tell people since I started this channel, go follow, don't just follow me. Go follow at least and go watch at least 10 other artists. I don't subscribe to a lot of people's channels, but I do have other, like 10 more other people that, and see what they do, their process, and stuff like that, because they might give you a tip, or they do. We're all very different, and we all come from different backgrounds of how we got into art. This is why I tell you, because I don't want you to be stuck and, like, this or that. Like, I in the beginning found a read Landgraf, and she's in Austria, and she was a doctor. She's her husband is a doctor as well, and they have two girls. And she married him, and she's from, actually, from Israel. And they got married, and she moved to Austria, and she had to learn Austrian, German, Austrian. She did do that, and she got her license to practice. But by that time, I think because she was in a waiting period, language takes a little bit of time. Even if you're, and language has nothing to do with like smartness. It has to do with, like, you have to kind of like pick up. It's like a puzzle. You have to be able to pick up those in your brain and practice a lot. But people, for whatever reason, they linked it to intelligence, but no, it's so broad, the way that somebody can attain that language. And, like, people see it, like, for example, I'm multilingual, but I can just look at it and just recognize it, and I'll remember. For and if I noticed, when I was like going through language, all my languages, I have to hear it and I had to look at it, and then I would practice it, and then I would spit it out, no problem. But I feel like art, like the contest, I feel there's stuff. I was self-conscious too, but I was like, this year I put in the thought. Last year, I was like, you know what? I feel like I have been made progress. I've been making art for a while, and I was like, this year I put the intention last year, at the end of last year, when last year ended on a really low vibration for me, but it ended. It ended well, and I put that out. I was like, you know what? I want to be involved in more art related things. I'm going to be brave and enter, like, art related with other professionals and other people who has been doing art. Because I was like, that's the only way that I'm going to be able to prove to myself that I'm good enough, that I can actually do this. That is not just a hobby or just like a therapeutic thing for me or whatever, stuff like that. So I did do that. And yeah, when I was shocked when I won that first meeting contest for my story, but I knew my story was, because I'm a good writer, but I knew my story was, like, it was gonna hit, because it's so very common. People do go through grief. I wasn't just grieving my mom, I was grieving the end of an era, of a chapter in my life. From my birth parents, both of them were gone. My biological parents were gone with the departing of my mother. That's what I was dealing with. That's why I'm really, like, I do stuff for my stepfather and stuff, and they don't bother me, because he's like, thankfully, I call him a third parent, and stuff like that. I have my biological parents, and I spent only a number of years with my real dad. I have more of him, like, in me, than we did, than time we spent together. We barely spent time together as a kid, and then my parents separated, and I didn't see him for a very long time. And when I did, I was a teenager, and he passed away shortly after that. But I spend more time. I've known my stepfather more than my real dad, than actually both of my parents at this point. But yeah, um, it wasn't just like a grieving thing. It was like, seriously, like an end of a chapter for me. And I was 38 years old, and, like, I still had I guess I still had like lingering questions like about, and my mom was gone and it was very fast, and because we didn't expect her, to pass away. But you can't really tell somebody you can't really pass away. When the soul is ready, the soul will depart. Okay, now to those. I'm gonna tell you one witchy story on camera, and then I'm gonna put the camera back on because we're already going on an hour, and we gotta move it along because I know a lot of people do trick or treat, and I don't want to keep you. The Dodgers are gonna be. Oh, I pray that they win today. That way they'll force a game 7 tomorrow, and tomorrow is it's gonna be the hopefully they'll win though because tomorrow is Fernando Valenzuela. He passed away last year. That's his birthday tomorrow. So hopefully, but I don't know. I'm not holding my breath. I want Kershaw to end his career on a high note with a ring. And you put in your community channel number. Yeah, I did. And I did it on Instagram because I have more followers on Instagram. I have over 1K followers on Instagram, and I have on my Facebook. Instagram goes into Facebook not so much because Facebook I keep it more personal. um I don't have a separate, and I don't want to have a separate Facebook page, and that's why my Instagram is also personal. But I people started following me when I started sharing my art, so I was like, I'll just keep it like that. And I use it for everything, and everything that I do anyway, personal. It's art related as well. I have to dye my hair because look, I've been painting away, and you know and actually, believe it or not, my hair is not this dark. My real hair is actually lighter than this. That's why you can see, but this is not my natural hair. I have to dye it darker, and it's funny because it looks weird to me because I had my natural hair color was like a dark brown. It looked black in the shade, but when you stand in the sun, it looked like a dark brown. Because my mom, her color would change like that, and now I have to sometimes I put more like a it dyes black, but it actually is a dark brown. Let me see if I can find a strand. I don't think so, but yeah, I have to dye my hair. Oh, the and I started dyeing my hair after my mom passed. I was like, oh my god. And most people started dyeing their hair from my age group a lot younger than that. But anyway, so yeah, so one story, and then I'll put you up there. And then this is fun being on camera. I rarely do this, and I planned it out because I'm like, oh, they must see me very nice. Um, but anyway, um, and you're not gonna forget because sometimes you're like wonder what it. And some you don't know this, but usually I come when I'm not on camera. I do not look like this. Like this is how I would look when I would go out. With the exception of this, I'll probably keep it in my pocket, and I would take it off my thing and wear something else. But I this is how I would look like when I go substituting and stuff like that. But not you won't know. But when I'm doing stuff for you guys, you don't see me because my hair is in a bun. I actually put light uh, a lip a, a natural lipstick that I have, and all the stuff my stepson said, "Oh, that's a nice color." And I'm like, "For today," I'm like, "Yeah, it's Halloween, my channel." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And but yeah, I usually wearing sandals, and yeah, and it's like crazy, and so I thought it was kind of refreshing. I'm like, I'm gonna tell him I took. Well, I did take a shower, but I was like, I'm gonna tell him I took a shower and I did my hair and stuff. But so it is kind of fun. So okay, spooky stories. So I'm gonna tell you the story. I have a lot of them, but I'll tell you another one when we start watching Daniel Smith. Um, and then we're gonna do color stories, and then that'll be it. Okay, I promise. 45 minutes, an hour max more, but that's it. So here's the spooky story. I had gone to live in Washington State. I visited when I was a kid, when I was 13, because I had a couple of brothers who lived in the Portland area, and one of them crossed to Washington State because he liked it better. Well, Washington State is known as the apple, the orchid apple um, state. So I actually made my way after an international trip. Um, and this was for March when I, in the day, it's sadly the day that I, which was March 13, the day that I landed. It was the day that my mom's brother passed away. Actually, I got there midday and he passed away like or 8 a.m. Like I was still kind of going on the way, and I was just like, oh no, this is not good, right? But I felt like if I was in good spirits, good vibes, I settled in. And then my brother and I, that brother that lived there and his wife and whatever, I don't know, his wife was, she, even though she's religious, like very gossipy with the sister and the mom, it was really bizarre. She was like opposite of what she portrayed to be, right? So she caused some problems with my brother and he kicked me out. I actually spent a day outside and I could barely sleep with my suitcase and stuff. And he thought I was gonna like go come back, and I didn't because I was like, I'm about to go back to school. I had taken like 3.5 years, so I applied to go back to community college and things like that, and nothing. I had my plans. I was working as a hostess in the Hilton hotel, which it was all green. They were very already very fast forwarding and everything. So I was like, no, like, no one's gonna ruin my plans. I know, right? And well, I already had talked to somebody to take a nanny job, so I was calling this person, but I didn't know that, I don't know what was happening. I think he was on a date or something, and this date was like there. I'm not sure because she was there when I came, and believe it or not, there was across the street from there was a little tiny park close to my brother's home, and this dummy didn't even know that he let my parents know by calling them there. Where was I? And they were like, "What do you mean? Like she's over there with you?" And he was like, "No, like she left in the middle of the night." And I was like, "What did you do?" And oh, there was like my parents, my family. They were about to jump in a plane um, and I don't know, cause chaos with his wife, but they didn't. And I was like, I'm okay. So in the morning, very early, a lady approached me and she asked me what I was doing there, and I was like, well, there's some family issues, and I'm waiting for I had turned my cell phone off, so because I had a little bit of charge in case the person that I was going to move in his home, it's a living home nanny, so he can contact me later. And I was calling a friend, another friend, and that day, for whatever reason, everybody had something emergency, whatnot, and nobody was picking up. And I was like, oh my God, like seriously. And well, I was, a little embarrassed, and I was like, oh my God. So this lady, she's like, well, we're gonna have, I'm coming to like a meeting of, um, Alcoholic Anonymous. And she was like, and you don't look like you're like somebody from the street, or because I look like normal. And she's like, and then she's like, why don't you go in there, charge your phone, get warm, and then I'll give you a ride, or we'll call the person that you're trying to contact. I'm like, okay. That emergency happened, and now you have to move in, because I was gonna move in as a living nanny that same month, but in the end, like 2.5 weeks later, like at the end of that month, and it was still it was the first couple of days when that incident happened. Well, and this is, I'm just giving you context. This is not the spooky stuff. Well, the I did I turned on my cell phone and everything. I was in the meeting, and I was like, oh, these people are nice. And the person that I was gonna live in nanny, it was man, he was a single parent. That's why he needed a live in nanny, because he had a he had his own like business, and he was rarely home, or when he was home, he was always kind of working too on the computer. So He said yeah. That I told him like what had happened. He's like, oh, okay, fine. He's like, do you have a way to get here? And like, here's the address. And I was like, yeah, there's somebody who's gonna give me a ride. So I gave her the address, and like I felt like she was like an angel. And this angel, that's why I'm like connected to the angels, because they are real living angels, like not fallen angels, real angels. Because this was the first time out of a new there were other times that something like somebody that didn't know me randomly just like did things for me that I was just kind of like, whoa. I was during Christmas. I'll tell you the other one. Um, the other one that when I was in Germany, like, and she was American too, but I was in that German airport, and I had to catch my flight the next day in like the middle of the day, but I was in Berlin, and I couldn't. I had to leave Berlin on Sunday, on the Sunday, because there weren't trains going into southern, like the other airport. Like I got the other um Munich. Like there wasn't another train on time that I would be on time and go through, to get my ticket and all this stuff, and then hop on the airplane. So like I had to go on Sunday, but that will be for Christmas anyway. But anyway, this is not the spookiest part though. I'll tell you. So he like this lady, she was kind enough. She gave me a ride and she told me like just to take care of myself and stuff like that, and things will work out, and they did. I enter and the girls were like, "Oh, excited!" And they showed me my room, and it was like empty. Like I literally just came in with the suitcase and had nothing else because my brother had like I was living in his couch in his basement. It was like really bizarre. But this was like in 2009 when I moved up there. And I only went to school for years and then I came back. And I haven't visited. Every time I try to visit, something happens. Like something happens. This summer I was going to visit and I had to move. And I was like, great. Every summer that I want to go, I have friends still there. And something happens. And I feel like when things like that happen, I'm not meant to go back for whatever reason. There are some really weird energy in where I went in Washington State, like University by Pullman, Idaho. Like, and the last year there was a killer. Like he at the University of Idaho, which is like 6 miles across from us, from the university where I went as an undergrad. And yeah, it was really scary. It's and people have written about that area. It's a very rural area. The biggest things are the universities, but you don't feel it because the universities are they're so big, and they have so many activities. But anyway, back to the story. So, yeah, I started, taking care of these girls, and my life started moving in the new direction that I was heading. Right after 3.5 years, I came back to school. I met my German teacher, and everything. And oh no, I hadn't met him. I took some really hard classes. I was like, oh my god, who told me to do this? But and so I was kind of getting into the flow and things like that. So the girlfriend, the one that she was there, and he was like dating like three people, and then he finally settled for this one. But this lady, she was nice when she was sober. She was an alky. I was like, what the? I dealt with alky people, but in women, it takes a toll on them, and I'm just like, oh my god, like that's crazy. And I felt like she was like jealous because people they think bad, but I'm like, no. And this person and I, we had opposite schedules, and that's the reason I was there. So she started coming, the girlfriend. She started when I moved there, and I said hi, and she just said I looked really sad after we spoke. We had a couple good chats, but I could sense some energy in her, and she was coming on the weekends, and it was fine. Weekends are good. I was doing actually. I had school sometimes. I would go to school and do work, and I would come back because the libraries are amazing. And yes, I'm eating trick or treat chocolate. And then she started staying on Monday. I said okay, 3 days. That's fine. I go to school anyway. And she started noticing the times that I was there. I come back from school. This bee's still there, waiting. And there was nothing. It's just her. I don't know, because she likes to drink. She was thinking back. I don't know what she was thinking. So then it became Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And I noticed she started kind of throwing jealous energy because I could just sense that. And I was like, one time it got to the point where she started staying the whole week. Like she wouldn't go home anymore. Like her home was her studio and she lived like on the top and her studio was on the bottom because she was like something an alcoholic lady, man. She did like she had a studio of like yoga and some other things. And I asked her some healthy things like, look, I was a runner and I was 110 pounds or whatever, 105 sometimes when I was a, a teenager. And I was a runner, like natural runner. And I'm like, but I never had a flat stomach. What should I do? And she's like, oh, well, she gave me like, some people are like not meant to have flat stomachs. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, must be something that I'm eating because I'm not going to stop eating chocolate and tortillas and all this stuff. Like, I'm going to eat it because I don't eat a lot of it, but I'm going to eat it. I don't exercise now anymore. After I left the military, I'm like, no, thank you. So, one of those times, this heifer, and excuse my French, she went to the kitchen. Mind you, there's two young girls under. One of them was 10, the other one was like around 9 or 8. And they like to make their own quesadillas. We taught them a few things that they can manage to do. The stove was electric. So, and most of them they did microwave or their dad liked to cook. So, he would cook for everyone. And sometimes I would cook too. And I'm like, you could try it. Like a Mexican soup, and they like that. Like with the alphabet soup, they like that. I had them put cheese, and they even put corn, and they like that. So, um, she moved one Sunday. I was like, I don't know, for whatever reason, her energy was just getting. I could sense it all the way here, and I wasn't saying anything, but I was like, I'm like, that's not my house, but I'm like, she needs to go. Like I can, whatever she was going through, because I always been sensitive to that. Um, she was just kind of like, I don't know what her issue was, but I think she was trying to send energy so that I can leave, so I can feel uncomfortable and I could leave. Like kind of energy where like, okay, like that I will come one day and I'll just say that I didn't want to live there, like that, because I could just sense it, because I was like, oh my god, what is this lady's problem? And I thought she was nice, like, she's a water energy, things like that. She was getting into spirituality, but she was using it to bend for her own kind of like magic. Um, or just not bad, but it's like, hmm, why don't you use that for you to stop drinking? How about that? But I didn't want to say that. I had my real father and my stepfather. My stepfather got himself out of it. My real father died because of it. But they were both alcoholics. So I know what they're like. So in a woman, it does show, it takes a toll. Mm, they start to look and act really out of it. Well, she never wanted to have kids anyway. And I'm like, thank God, because I don't know. She was from Oklahoma too, and Okie. So, however, one weekend, I said, "That's it. I'm putting my foot down." I feel that energy all the way here. I try to go away, do this stuff, but I was not gonna be locked in my room when sometimes I wanted to cook and I needed her to leave, and she would sit on the counters. Ugh, I'm so disgusting. You're not a child. And if you were a child, like my mom was like, you never sit on the counters in the kitchen. There's certain things you wash your hands, you do a bunch of things in the kitchen. You leave kitchen stuff in the kitchen. That's shit. It's gross. So yeah, and then they would tell the girls were like, well, I want to do it too, and then they're like, oh no, the dad was like, nah. I don't know where she. Well, anyway, we're gonna get through this spooky stuff. So that Sunday, I put my foot down. I said, this heifer all weekend, without asking anybody, move the things from the kitchen. You know what she did? This stove is electric. So we had tortillas, and you know how there's plastic? So she put the tortillas on the counter next, because on the left side, on the right side, there's there's the stove. She put the bread on top of the stove, and on the side the tortillas. Mind you, there's plastic. They are wrapped in plastic. So I said, number one, who told you to do this? Well, I just wanted to help and blah blah blah, make things easy. I'm like, first of all, we leave stuff accessible because the girls like to do quesadillas. They like to do some things that are easy. So why did you put everything high where they're unable to reach them at this point? Oh, I didn't think about that. Well, yeah, because you're acting selfish. That's why. And I said, number two, you put stuff around the stove. The stove is electric, so you have to warm it up at least 5 minutes to get it to the temperature that you want. And I said, and oh look, I can see myself in my reflection. It's interesting. And my reflection, who is that girl? That Christina Aguilera reflection from Mulan. See, I don't watch Disney, but I do know the song. Anyway, she said, "Oh," I said, "you put the tortillas and all this stuff, which is wrapped in plastic, next to the stove. What do you think if the girl come and they're gonna open the plastic and automatically it's gonna hit the stove because they're gonna turn it on? What do you think is gonna happen? They're gonna put this whole thing on fire. That's what's gonna happen." Oh, I didn't think about that. I called her out and I was telling her just the way that I'm telling you right now, the story. She went and told um her boyfriend at the time, which is the person who was employing me, the father of the girls. I don't know how she told it, but she was all crying and everything according to him. And I was like, I didn't you what did you tell her you made her cry? And I was like, first of all, I don't know why she's crying. I'm like, she's older than us and I'm younger than both of you. I was actually like 26 at the during this time, or 27. I think I had already turned 27, and so I was like, and she's gossipy, and I'm like, why didn't I see that? I said, you know what? I said, Jason. I said that was his name, Jason, and it goes well with today. Imagine that. You see, this story was meant for me to say it. Um, she was kind of like, I was like, I don't know what's her problem. I said, you told me she has a drinking problem, and clearly, she has a different. Sometimes she would drink so much, and like couldn't even walk back to his room, and she would like land on like drop on the hallway when this is like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. because you're drinking so much during the evening when you're not supposed to, right? Because you and she wouldn't tell you she had a problem. She knew she had a problem at this point. But she was drinking it. Oh, I'm gonna have a glass of wine every day. But it wasn't a glass, it was the whole bottle. She would start with the glass, but it was the whole bottle. Anyway, I said, you know what, Jason, I just said this, and that. She doesn't think. I'm like, she doesn't know because she doesn't live here. This is not her house. Like, she needs to go back to her apartment, wherever she lives. Like, because I'm like, I feel like her energy doesn't allow me, and I don't want to be just like in my room. Like, I want to come out and cook something, and then she's always constantly here. Like, I felt like she was blocking every time I thought, oh, at this time I'm gonna come out and go to the kitchen and make myself something nice to eat or whatever, right? So I always have the issue that I always make more than enough. I like a big pot, and it's sometimes only me. She did like the fact that I cooked, and I guess in Texas they do this, but I saw it in a Lifetime thing, and it was kind of like a Mexican lasagna, and you use tortillas and you use like refried beans, and it's like layers, just like lasagna, but it's more healthy. So refried beans, like green chili, and like shredded chicken, and then you put like two blenders of cheeses like Monterey and Jack. I put, and then you keep layering until you're done, and she likes that a lot. And I put like the poblano chilies because they're not hot. They're just, it gives a really good taste. And I guess she had that in Texas, and she's constantly, asking to make more, even though we given her like a lot because she didn't know how to cook. So I was like, what's the deal with this lady? Like, we was okay, and then I don't know, like, I don't know what her problem is. And I'm over here, I get hungry because I'm a student. Like, I'm doing homework and stuff like that, and I don't have a TV, and it's like I'm just using my computer as TV, and I was just like, oh my God. And well, before she actually decided to leave, and it's like, and I told her when that day that I called her on the counters, I said, leave, go to your house. I'm like, this is not your house, and you're like, your energy's like bothering me. I'm like, ah. I literally did say that. And so we're getting to the spooky stuff related to my father. So people had told me this, that my father passed away in 2000, and so 25 years ago, in at the end of February. But people would tell me this, and I didn't know, because they would describe him, and I wouldn't tell. I don't tell everybody that my biological father passed away, especially during those times. So one day after this incident happened between all three of us, because she made it a big thing when it wasn't, well, it was the weekend again, like a Saturday, and it was kind of gloomy, and it was late fall, and I was like, you know what? I ate or whatever. I'm just gonna go in my room, and I'm gonna put in a, like, I'm just gonna go on Netflix or something, and I don't know, put something nice, and not just, well, I guess kind of still kind of early, so I'm just not gonna go to sleep. I'm just gonna lay down or whatever, do watch something, right? Well, I tell you, uh, I saw her coming from the garage where the Jason had his computer, where his workstation, right? But it's chilly, so she came back in to probably warm up or find her, make herself something warm. I'm not sure. And I was just leaving the kitchen, and I looked back like that, and I'm like, oh, it's her. Because I could sense it, right? And I remember she had a crystal like this one, and she said it was for something, but I didn't believe her. I think she had other intentions. She put other intentions in it, because when I met her, she wasn't wearing that, and then somebody must have told her. So, like, I just felt like she just had like other intentions at the end. Oh, I put it over there. But it's opal. It's like a little crystal like that, and it's a really nice crystal. She said, like, I just bought it for coffee. I'm like, I don't know. In my mind, I'm like, I don't think so. I think she put in a different, because the crystal can work in another intention. Like this one, I put it for protection now, but this is angelic something crystal. That's why you see how it shines. But now it's for protection, and angelic for protection. So I put a new intention within the crystal. So this is where the spooky stuff goes. And then I'm gonna put you up there. We're gonna swatch Daniel Smith. I looked like that, and she was coming to the garage, whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna ignore her. Do do do. I was walking the hallway back to my room. I closed the door behind me. I just went like that. I didn't even turn or back around. I just kind of. The door started closing, shutting behind me, and before it finished closing, she screamed the top of her lungs. Remember, she's by the kitchen, right? And she was watching me go back in my room. I think she had evil intentions because when she screamed, she said, "Who's that man?" I heard her all the way, and I was like, "What in the world?" That went into Maria's room when the door was closed. So why were you watching me watching the door close? Because you clearly saw me. I ignored you, so I started going in the direction of my room. And I said, and then I stood there and I'm like, man, there's nobody here. Like, it's just me. And then I said, oh, it must be the ghost of my father. Yeah, people share with me, and this happened in Washington State University in Pullman, that I don't, like I said, I don't talk about my personal I'm not that person, you know. I talk here because no, well, it's my channel, and I just feel like, you can relate or whatever. So um her and that spooked the crap living it. The next day she left. She left for a while because she was spooked out of her, you know, out of her mind. And she knew it wasn't real. So I said to myself, first of all, what were your real intentions? Hmm, that you saw, I didn't. You saw my real father. I only saw my real father once after he passed, and I was in high school, and it was days prior to my graduation in 2001. He passed away when I was 17. And he went like that, and he went to the side of my bed, and like I screamed, but like people heard me after the ghost of him was gone, and he just said that he was very proud of me and that he loved me and everything. But that was the only time. And every after that, I could sense him. He was with me until to 2011, and then that was it. And then he said, I guess people in the afterlife still have to do like these, especially because he passed away so young. He was only like 54 when he passed away. So she she saw him. And people after that, people did tell me that, mind you, that was my cue. And 2 months after that, I actually moved out of I Jason and I decided that it was the best thing for everybody. And I left and moved somewhere else on my own, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I can't deal with that. Because people think it because you're a girl, and that, I don't know, women, I seem across, it's an ongoing thing, jealous women. And it's like, it's not even you don't even got a ring, girl. Like, what the hell? But I'm not like that. My mom did tell me that. She's like, I knew she was gonna be jealous of you. And I'm like, why? Like, we have opposite schedules. And no, I'm not interested. I am not that girl. Like, but people have their own way of thinking. But yeah, and so that was the end of that. But going forward, when I did move, and I was living in Vancouver, Washington, where I so it's the border of, it's Washington State, but it's the border of Portland, Oregon, and we're close. I seem to like to live up there in borders. I don't know why. Out here, I'm not in a border, but out there, I was. And then when I moved to the university, there was, and I'll tell you, and then I'll close it out, and then we're gonna do that, and then that's it. So I guess I love telling stories because it's an hour and 26 minutes, and I'm like, it's still not done. But when I moved to the university in Pullman, and that I could just sense it's very desolate outside the university, but it's like people have, even though they're young, they have yucky energy, or they leave it there. It's like, it was spooky. And when I moved with two roommates, and one of them had a brother, and she decided to him take a room. So technically, he was a roommate too, but he was mostly attached to her, and he was still going to high school. And he was going through some rough times, so she decided to help his parents out by moving him in and going to a local in a this desolate area, not very diverse, right? So one time she told me and also this was in the winter time. She told me, Maria, she's like, do you have somebody that like that it's a man? And she described my father, right? And I was just kind of, he's like, he doesn't look like you, but I have a feeling like he's like related to you. But he's like, the funny thing is like, what? Because I had the last room on the right, and all the other three rooms were to the left of the hallway. The only thing that was attached to my room was the second bathroom, and then she had her first bathroom before that, attached to the other bathroom in the beginning on the right. So I was at the very end, corner end, on the right. And she said, because the other day, and I've noticed this girl, young girl, my roommate, she said, I've noticed there's a man following you, but it's not possible. I'm like, what do you mean follow? There's nobody following me. She said, no, there is. She said, you went into your room, and then the man like disappeared, and that's when she realized he was looking at a ghost. And I said, okay. And then she said, and then I follow you because she could see from her room. She could see, and when I we were in the third story, we would go down, to go to school. So sometimes I like somebody gave me a ride or whatever, and I will make a ride so she will see me. And she said she followed me, and it was daytime, and that I was coming back. Somebody had given me a ride, so I was coming back, and she was watching, and she said that there was literally somebody behind me. And I said, "Okay, Ariel, hold yourself. Do not. I don't want you to scream or anything. You saw the ghost of my real father. He's been passed away for like at that time for like I don't know 15 years." She was poor girl. I was like, but she held her breath like, oh Jesus. I said, you must be a sensitive person because you told me you've been watching. I said, I only sense my real father, but I don't see him. I only saw him once, and this was a long time ago. But people tend to, I don't know, see him. Sensitive people, I suspect. But I did notice when she told me that that was usually it was an ongoing theme. It was like a cue. Every time somebody that I live with saw him, I would eventually like move out, and she did want me to move out. Um, Months later, and I was going to Europe, and I was like, what the heck? It was like I was gonna leave. I only had like my bed and an armoire, and everything else like. I didn't have much stuff, so I was just like, cause I was almost living in a suitcase. Like every 6 months to a year, I always moved. So I was like, I don't want to acquire more stuff. Like, I just grab my suitcase and I leave. I was going to Europe the whole summer. I was like, why didn't you tell me before? I did find a new room, and it was perfect the time that I was coming back. So I had to leave some of my personal stuff, like two small suitcases, in a friend's house in her living room, and I came back. That actually helped me. But yeah, it was an ongoing theme. Every time somebody told me they saw a ghost, my real father, that yeah, that it was just a thing for me that I would have to move, and something would happen, and I would have to move, and that happened to me for a long time until 2011. My father in that university, and I was walking. It was daytime, and it was late, and I was walking back to the new apartment all the way to the back. Same apartments, but all the way to the back. And my real father told me, like in my ear, like I could sense his energy. There was a tree. They're really beautiful trees over there. Fall is really nice in Washington State, colorful and everything. And And I literally heard him in my ear saying like, "It's time for me to go." Like he's like I kind of like shadow me for a long time, but that's it. Like I need to move on to other. I guess he said something about helping other people. That's why I think the afterlife is not what you think. You're not gonna sit there and rest. Like you gotta do stuff. Because my own parents tell me that. Like, and I heard other people say something similar. So I don't know, but yeah, my dad's put the living out of people. I'll tell you that. He sure did. And I haven't sent some or nothing. Now I did spoke to him like because I can summon my own parents because they're my parents and when this whole thing with the Witchy Witch of the West happened, like now, recently when I was telling my stories, I just said like I need to cut this energy so she gets the point and he's gonna pay her a visit tonight, mm, and make shit clear for her. So I'm like, I don't know what ghosts actually tell, but other than spooky living people, but I suspect he's gonna tell her in her native language, which is not English. Um, um, and she don't have no accent. She's actually talks. I have more of an accent because of the German, and I like it. But yeah, that I don't know what he's gonna say, but he did. And this morning he kept telling me the same thing. That's how I know the Witchy Witch of the West is not coming to this life, especially because she's seeing this. The light will always dim her low vibration. She's actually in low spirits because I air her lies. I did finish my tea, and I was gonna do all kinds of stuff, but I do Daniel Smith and do a couple of things, and that's it. So I'm gonna switch you off. Not gonna see me anymore, okay? But put you upside down. So hold on a minute, cause we're gonna start doing the art part, and then I'll tell you a mini story, okay? Okay. It's nice seeing you guys on the screen. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so it's not that bad. So we're gonna do some color stories. Oh, I already posted this, so I'm gonna take it off. But I don't think we have enough time, and I don't know because I said because I talk too much. I did look. I did put more stamps that I have. These are Christy Rice. These two. These are Erie Landgrafs, but she don't sell them no more. These are but you can still get this set. This is a beautiful set from from um what's her name? Christy Rice. And then what else did I do? I think oh right over here in the back. I was like, you know what? I need to prepare this. So yeah, we're gonna be working in this. This is an actual sign for a while. So we're gonna try Daniel Smith on there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. And you know, it's not too early, but it's not too late either. I did do. So we're gonna swatch Daddy Smith. I call him Daddy Smith onto here because this one was look at the blick. Oh my god, I oh look, this one had beautiful granulation. That Davies gray, look at that. Look at that. The Davies gray is in the middle, and then I did mixes on the bottom and the top. Look at that. And look how beautiful this black. Almost looks it looks like purple when it dried. But yeah, I was very pleased. So we're gonna do Daddy Smith over here. So I'm gonna put this like this so we can see. Yes, you enjoy. Marlene, you're so funny. Yes, we enjoy very much. Love seeing. Yeah, I know. You'll see me more. I'll come back more often. And stuff like that. Um, for Thanksgiving and stuff. And this is the same as Thanksgiving, same color. So I might just, but I have a gold and black for the Thanksgiving, so I'm wearing black pants because Halloween. Mm. But yeah, be careful out there and stuff. But I just thought I was like, oh, I'm just gonna. So Marlene and I were bad, and on live, I think on Sunday, Marlene, right? Uh, I think on Sunday we was bad, and we used that duochrome mauve, yeah, for that leaf, and lemon yellow. These are gouache. These I got them from the Mary Artist for $10 each. Now Blake has this set. It's called Primary Mixing Set, and it's $40. Oh look, I have a Daniel Smith. Oh, I forgot to give you a sticker, Marlene. I'll send it on your thing. And this is the old. So the old. This is how much wash. Now they have more. Their range is bigger than this, but they are pricey, ladies and gentlemen. They are pricey. So I'm gonna keep the sticker and throw away the rest because we don't need it. Um, so the primary set comes with Hansa Yellow Medium, and I'm tired of this Hansa Yellow Medium. Pyro Red, I love me some Pyro Red. This is an amazing red, like amazing. And then it comes Ultramarine Blue, of course. This is almost like a traditional. And then it's gouache, so you have a titanium white. So I'm looking, I don't mind it in gouache. You can see it for sure. So technically, those three colors. This one on this set, they give it to you for free. So they charge you $40. I pay 42 on Amazon because Blick and elsewhere were they were it was out of stock, so I didn't want to wait, and I got these during the week. These I got them from the Mary Artist. However, these are we already swatched, but we're gonna swatch them on here as well. Um, we well, and this is the only thing I'm gonna show you ahead um, from the last, well, the second to last, this last Blick order that arrived today, earlier today. Yes, we enjoy. No stickers? You don't like stickers, Marley? Oh, no sticker. Yeah, I totally forgot. I was that day. It was just like I don't know. I told you I was feeling kind of weird, and no, I'm gonna send it to you on, in your mystery pack, instead. But that will be for the purchase. I usually give them because I have plenty of Daniel Smith. And Daniel Smith didn't give you stickers. They started doing that like about a year ago, or maybe 2 years. I'm not sure. But I got these. These were part of the overstock, and I think they're not anymore. And one of them went up a little bit more because they were when I put them in my car, they were like $10, and then they waited to. No, I waited, and then I decided to get them. But so I don't want to give you more context because I don't want to keep you in here. We've been going an hour. I'm really good with stories. I must. Yeah, I'm having fun. But anyway, I got Cerulean Blue. These were part of the overstock. I think this is Burnt Sienna. Burnt Sienna. Usually I don't get it, but this is gouache, and it was $8. This one in the lamp black from the overstock at Blake, they're $8 a piece. So I was like, yay! And then, and plus with all these colorful colors, I wouldn't mind getting a burnt sienna. This has, I never liked burnt sienna, but now I do. I Because of the English red, I feel like it mixes well, and it's not dull. It's very chocolatey. So, and then a spring green. There's no greens on here, so this was nice. And then quinacridone magenta. I do have this in watercolors, and it's so nice. Now, some of the watercolors I have like in watercolor, but I think like a certain watercolor I'm not gonna buy in watercolor. I'm gonna buy in gouache because gouache you can easily how do I say it? Well, you know what? We could swatch this out in here instead. Oh, but this is not 100% cotton. Um, Let me see. Oh yeah, we could swatch our mom here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need one more, but right here. So yeah, we could swatch them on here on the Christy Red. That what I did. So I'm not gonna swatch them here. I'm gonna swatch them here instead. Oh, oh thank you, Marlene. Yeah, yeah. I mean, long time ago when I was living in Boston, all I did is like watch people on the holidays, and because I was so far away from my family, so yeah, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, okay. I could just use one of these as the 10th. I don't know why I put 5 up here and then 4 here. Oh, because I spaced them out differently. Yeah, the Christy Rice. These are cool. They're similar to Eric's, and this is Eric. So actually, I could put that white here, and then we could. But anyway, so yeah, we could do it here. Let me label them. I'm gonna be good today and label them so that I know Daniel Smith will swatch on here. Let me get the pen that I was holding yesterday. This one. These are the Copic. And Marlene, by the way, I love that little teddy bear. I put in a comment there. When I drew, and I'll show you the drawing that I did 4 years ago. And then I do have the traceable, so I'm gonna do that for Christmas because it was a Christmas bear. I still have the bear still in the little case and the little thing. Yeah, I took most of the other things out, but I drew it. So I'm gonna use my Copic marker 0.5. I like this because it's purple, so you get to see it. Oh, this thing. So we're gonna add the white here, the gouache white, and then so we're gonna put this to the side. Um, and I put DS so I know Daniel Smith. And then we're gonna do the two, even though we already did, Marlene and I already did them, the lemon yellow and Hansa yellow. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So Hansa yellow first. Hansa, DS, Hansa yellow. And then lemon yellow, lemon, DS. And then pyro, ultra, oh, pyro red, pyro, uh, duochrome mauve and ultramarine are actually duo, duochrome, and then cerulean, and then ultramarine. Let's move it here. So this is how I used to swatch my stuff, but then I got lazy. Oh, and you know what? That big pan of I have to buy the new Ranger ink because it dried. Yesterday I was struggling and I had to get Christy Rice ink, and it's really juicy. Except I think it was trying to go bad, but I'm not sure. And it hasn't even been a year, so I was like, why is it this weird? So maybe it's just not a good quality. I don't think. Cerulean blue and then ultramarine. Ultramarine. DS. The good thing about this is that they don't have to like. I don't care if they come like if they're missing stuff because the ink didn't do. I could just sketch it in, or I just leave it as because the paint is gonna cover it. And then what else do I have? Oh, right here. Then I have spring. Oh, oh, I have this quinacridone magenta. Okay, queen magenta, queen B magenta, and then burnt sienna, and oh, and spring. Oh, why I don't know why I left this at the end. Spring green. I should have. I don't care. Okay, so in that order. Let's see. So let's get us started. Yeah, probably the people that are left in the beginning, they were probably like, "This bee is just." When they, as soon as I announced the winners, they were like, "Yeah," they were mad. I don't care. That's why I said you need a. I'm gonna put the white because it's not gonna be as relevant. Then I'm gonna put a little bit of white on this because these are gonna be mixes with white. I feel, see, for gouache, this white is not as thick as the other washes that I currently use. It's very similar to the Winsor & Newton, maybe even more loose. So you can use it probably like an opaque watercolor. I'm so glad Daniel Smith made some gouache because now I don't have to buy the. I could just buy the gouache and use it as watercolor. The watercolors that have a creamy consistency, and yeah, and it's washed, so I use it as hybrid wash. The only one that I would recommend, and I'm gonna make my video probably not this week, but I'll probably be on Wednesday, next Wednesday. Um, that the Christmas, the holiday, like artist gifts. That's my second annual. It's my second time doing it. Pyro Red. This one I opened it the other day just to peek, and it was really runny. Oh look, I put it up here instead of. That's okay. Usually, what I do, I put it because this I put them in the center, and then I drag it out. Ooh Lord, yeah, this one was the only one that had binder issues, and I think I have to probably squeeze it because it's like runny and it's gouache. It's not supposed to be like this, but it is red, so I'm not sure. I probably have to give it a good. And I'm gonna put the colors, all of them down, and then, because then I get mixed up. Duochrome and then so duochrome is nice, huh, Merlin? It's a iridescent. It's a super creamy, and I love me some iridescent. Sure do. And then ultramarine. Oh, cerulean, then ultramarine. Cerulean. Oh, see, that one has also binder issues. Ooh, a lot of them. Yuck. Let me see, where's my rag? See, that's why people put them on the thing, but I didn't want to do that. Then, yeah, this one has a ton of binder issues. So I hope it's here. Let me try to squeeze some of the binder back because it's still, wow. I hope it's okay. It's a cerulean, but I probably, and those are the ones that came out of packet. So I think they didn't sell like the first time because they don't feel fresh like the other ones. All the other ones, the ones that came, except this ultramarine is okay. But yeah, that pyro, and I'll probably have to use a needle and move them, which is fine. Quin, quinacridone. I love quinacridone, anything. And quinacridones are expensive from the watercolors. Um, so just to let you know. So I'm gonna mix that one because I want to see. And then burnt sienna. See, it was already ready to go. Burnt sienna. I don't know. I squeezed us a lot of cerulean, so I'm gonna. And then the spring. And then, if time permits, I might do uh with this squash, like a study, but I'm not too sure. So I am going to, let me see. So I have to get a brush. I'm gonna turn on the light because it's getting spooky around here. I should have got a music, huh? No, but then they strike me when I do that. And I'll just use one of my nice Da Vinci Casanel brushes. A number 8. It's round, super nice, super fluffy to swatch. All right, guys. So I'm gonna leave the white in the mixes until the end. So can you see? Yeah. So I'm gonna swatch this way so I don't move my paper. This is the first yellow, which is handsome. Ooh, I wanna see how different it is. See, this is what I do. I cover it in paint. So just put a little bit. Don't be like me, cause Daniel Smith. I feel like the gouache is more. The watercolor is gonna last a long time. This one, since it's gouache is thicker, it's gonna it's gonna be you're gonna use more of it. So I will leave it in the tubes. The only one that doesn't stay in the tubes is the titanium, the Magello, not the titanium, the Magello. I have that whole thing. This is Pyro Red. Oh my god. So pretty. Look at how opaque that is. Okay, we're gonna have to mix it with one ooh, now we can see it. Oopsie. Here. I mix it, you guys. Here I have more stuff here because I might have to paint with more things. Oh shoot. It I squeezed a lot. Oops. I'm gonna make it more watercolory. This oh my god. It's explosive. It sure is pyro red. Wow. Look, and this is more watercolory. Look how that's more like a crimson. Wow. It is for me it's perfection, you guys. So I'm gonna paint a couple of things here. That's why I did like this little thing. Because I'm gonna paint another jar of this. This is a strawberry for pyro. Strawberry. Yeah. Look. And it's still going. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. This whole section is gonna be pyro. Wow. Little eraser. Yeah. Yep. So see, all the sections that is pyro. That's a mix. You can't even see. I could see the jar, but you guys can see it. I'll probably have to sketch it in. That oh my gosh, that was pyro. See, that's cerulean, that binder. That's not normal. So I'm just gonna. And if it dries, it's fine. I could just use it as watercolor. But I thought that's very abnormal. It must be old primary packet. But the white didn't do that. But okay. Okay, the next one Marlene already knows is duochrome. Um, it's a pretty. This one is more dry, so I would suggest you don't pan it. All iridescents are very hard. I noticed in LEA Daniel Smith and what is the other brand that they're the only three iridescents that actually are softer. It's an LEA Daniel Smith, and I don't remember the third one, but they're really nice. They're not hard because the mica they use real mica, but yeah. So I don't ever pan that. But yeah, you can see it on there now. A little bit. Ooh, that pyro was explosive. Alright. So now I'm gonna swatch the cerulean. Might have to move this so you guys can see. Yeah. Okay. This I did do a lossy. I poured a lot of paint on here, but I'm gonna mix it with this one. Oh Lord. I'm gonna mix it. See, there we go. And it is a lot of paint, so you might want to paint some gears over here. So it made like a moody, the cerulean, when you mix it with the titanium. It made like kind of like a moody, uh, like a moody color. It's very interesting. Look, and this brush, even though it's Da Vinci, it's very soft. It's almost like a squirrel. Like it's very very soft. So I don't care. I like to. Oops, I shouldn't have done that because that's a white. That's okay. So yeah, this is it's more moody. That's not the real cerulean. That's a mix. This is the real cerulean. And I put a lot of paint, but yeah, that binder though bothered me a little bit. So it's a pretty cerulean. I like it. Very similar to its counterpart of the watercolor. So let's see. I want to mix it with this pyro and see what it does. Ooh, look at it makes a really interesting color, like a like a magenta, like a light magenta. Look, see, pretty color. This is how I learned how to mix. You just you just do it at the time. Because if you wait and I think it's boring when you do those exercises. So I learned from Marie Landgraf because she's very fun. Um, and this is how that's how I got her stamps because I noticed. So if you get the only one here, she doesn't sell them or Christy Rice does. So I make some of the most of these stamps are Christy Rice, but the gears and stuff are from Marie. But you can get Christy Rice's. What I like about Christy Rice, the bundle that she gives you everything you need, not just but it is more expensive. But I do like that. So this is ultramarine, and this is a beautiful ultramarine, very pretty. Look, that's cerulean still mixing. It's like it makes like a moody cerulean, and that's cerulean. Look, it turned a different color. Interesting. So ultramarine is still this is a good color to mix. I'll show you. So we're gonna mix it with this pyro, and it's gonna make this a very a purple because these are two primaries, so they're meant to mix with each other. So this is how you make purple, a beautiful purple, and I'll show you in a minute. See how different this is from this one. This one is more moody because it's a cerulean, but this one is more alive because these are the two primaries. Look at that, how beautiful. Look at that. And I'll show you more here so you can see it. So this whole section is the mask of, see? That's a true mix. The one that I just showed you. This is a real purple. Look at that. Beautiful purple. And look at, I prefer this one because it's more on the red, but this one's more on the blue spectrum. But look at that. Almost like an indigo. But yeah, it's purple. There are the two mixes that you mix them together, and it's gonna give you a beautiful color. And you can actually drag it more if you wanna make it more watercolory. See, more of a watercolory effect. There you go. Okay, let's keep going with our gouache. So the next one is Quin Magenta. Yeah, this is what all the coins are my favorite from Daniel Smith. He has the ultimate collection, and it's like $120 for 15 millimeter tubes of watercolor. But if you have one quin, a good one like this one, you can easily mix it with white, with the blues, and it goes really well. And see, it's very, even though it's gouache, it's very transparent. So you can skip the watercolor version and use this tube as gouache. I would suggest you use it. More of if you use white, you probably make it more gouache like, and if you put more water in it, you make it more. It's identical to the watercolor one. It, almost identical. Like it's this one's maybe like a couple shades more, and you know it's gouache, but it's very very similar. So I would skip the watercolor version and buy this gouache because you would get it. You would actually you can use it as watercolor and then add a little bit of white, and you can use it as white. So I'm going to see. You see, this to me is watercolor. It's not gouache anymore. Look at how nice and transparent it looks. Look at that. See? Beautiful. And this is more watercolory. And you're like, oh, I just made that gouache into watercolor. Yeah, you sure did. That's why we like gouache, because you some of it, like I said, I'm gonna pivot in some of these. Like I'm glad this Queen Magenta. If I have it in watercolor, but I'm not gonna buy it in watercolor anymore. I'm gonna just buy the gouache too, because then I could make it into a watercolor, and I could clearly make it into a gouache. So we're gonna skip the burn sienna, because I'm gonna go back, and we're gonna do this beautiful or only green, spring green. Look at that, and sure is spring. Look how beautiful this is. I mixed it a little bit with this magenta, but that's okay. It's not doing anything. See? Oh my gosh. Let me see. It's transparent, you guys. Look at that. Look at this. It's very transparent. See? Very much like watercolor. And our not last but not least, our burnt sienna. Is I like this burnt sienna. The watercolor is very raspy, but this one is very very creamy, very nice, and I feel like I like this one. It makes me feel like I'm almost doing oil paint. Gouache moves a little bit like oil paint, you guys, when the colors are not transparent. Oh look, and it's mixing with the so this burnt sienna moves. So hmm, something to note, to take a note. Look at, I'm gonna put it all around. It's such a beautiful color, almost like an English red, a very toasty. This is how I like, very chocolatey, like milk chocolate, which is my favorite. And it's look at that. Then it turns into watercolor. Oh, I'm gonna put a little bit of dab of water because now we're going to mix it. Oh, that was a that was not burnt sienna. That was a magenta. Oopsie. Oh, and now okay, this mix. So see, it's a little bit muddy. That's my fault because I thought it was burnt sienna, but it wasn't. It was actually a magenta. But look at this beautiful color. So I mixed three colors. I had burnt sienna in my brush, and I didn't wash it because I thought this was burnt sienna, but no. I thought I had mixed that, but no. Apparently, I put quin magenta down to mix with white. But since I had since I had um quin the quin moves. Since I had burnt sienna and let me see. And so yeah, You see the rosy right here, and then you can see. I like this color. Yeah. Sometimes that happens, so you can make mud, but since I'm a pro, no, I'm just kidding. I only had a little bit of burnt sienna. And burnt sienna, a lot of people don't mix it, but it can mix. It makes a beautiful mix. Look at that. I'll show you. And look, it looks so beautiful around this, our only iridescent gouache. The dual chrome line. I'm gonna get it all. Look, see? I'll show you. So pretty. I am in love with this. See, that's why we mixed. Now you're starting to see. That's why we mix. Because you come out with colors that you're like, whoa. See, now I'm gonna wash my brush. But look at, so it has a hint of burnt sienna, almost equal parts, almost of white and queen magenta. And look at how beautiful the color is. Rich, little bit a hint of dark, but look at when you put a little bit more water. Look, you can make it a little bit of lighter, and look how pretty it looks with this dual chrome. See, beautiful color. I love this mix. I'm gonna write it down. So, burn. Oops. Shoot. I need burn sienna. Burn sienna. Ooh, it doesn't have to wait until it dries a little. Here. Burn sienna. Quin magenta. Oh Lord, I have to wait. And then white. So pretty. I am in love. This is my new favorite color. And I love this one too, this mix. So I'm showing you, that's why I like gouache, because you can swatch and easily mix. So having a very good even space. So look at our beautiful colors and our mixes. Don't you just love? So yeah, I call Daniel Smith Daddy Smith because he's the daddy of them all, at least here in the US, and a lot of people from Europe, because of the shipping costs, they want him, but they don't want to pay the shipping costs. Oh, by the way, the video that I make that I made when I bought in the late summer from the lady from Eastern Europe, she says that now they're shipping back to the U.S. She actually announced uh, or this morning or yesterday. I'm not sure, but look at our beautiful color. So, what time is it? Oh, 2 hours and 10. Yeah, I'm not gonna do a color story on here because I think we had enough. And it's only you, Marlene. But yeah, this is so beautiful. I feel satisfied with this. One more. What am I talking about? And then you guys, the white. Oopsie. It's because I normally don't swatch. Yeah, it's opaque. Look at this. I think it's titanium. Yeah, titanium white. So it does have a little bit of hint. So kind of like more like on the a light gray. So that's good. Cause look, see. So if you mix it with a little bit of this, it can easily turn into a buff titanium. Let's see. See, very easily. I love it because you can. I like this white, and I think I'm gonna use it more. And it was free. Thank you, Daniel Smith. But yeah, I'm really happy with all of this. Look at that. Look at this yumness, goodness. Okay. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I sure did. Please stay safe and protected. And thank you for all your prayers. Thank you, Merlin, for always coming back and everything. I'll put in here as soon as this is done the winners. I'll tag Sonia so she knows, and I'll put it on the thing. And then I'll look up tonight to see. I'll let you know when you're gonna get your stuff from And that's it. And thank you guys all for the ones who came and left, and for the stories. Ever, it's been, it was better this live than I expected. I promise you. I'll come back on camera more often. I'll see you guys on. I'll see you guys on another live. You take care. Bye bye. Thank you, Marlene. Happy Halloween.